Hi guys, welcome to my first real video. Today we're gonna be wrapping my interior plastics that are gray into carbon fiber vinyl wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get right into it. First, I started by measuring the outer dimensions of the interior plastics, and the first method I'm gonna show you is not the best one. That's what I figured out a bit too late. This is why I'm also doing this video, so I show you guys how it's supposed to be done, because my friend who actually wraps cars with vinyl wrap told me what was the correct way to do it. So the first method I am gonna show you is not the correct one. The second one is the correct one. So as I mentioned, I measured everything and wrote down all the measurements, and then I decided to cut the vinyl wrap and wrap the plastics while still in the car. So here I laid out the wrap, you can see on the table. Used my girlfriend's pencil case because I don't have anything else to use to hold this down. So now I'm gonna draw on here all the measurements I did before, and then I'm gonna cut it and hopefully everything fits. Okay, so I now drawn the outlines. I don't know if you can see this, but this one is drawn by me. I also labeled them. So this one is for around the shifter. Then we have rear right door, front right door, front left door. This is also for the shifter because it goes around like this. Then this is for the screen, and this is for the rear left door. So I'm gonna cut this and then I'm gonna draw for the last two. So cutting this vinyl wrap into pieces and trying to put it on the plastics while still in the car was probably the worst idea I've ever had. I don't know why I was thinking that it was gonna work, but it was really painful to try and put the vinyl on. For this piece alone, it only took me like half an hour or something like that to try to squeeze it in. It was really a pain to do it. I could also cut the plastics of my car, and that was also a bad idea, but thankfully I had a sharp knife that didn't cut any plastics, so. Start to see the frustration on my face when I figured out that there is a bit of plastic seen through the vinyl wrap, and I had to peel it off and redo it. So as I said previously, this method is probably not the best. To be honest, I didn't do much research on this topic before starting. I just bought this vinyl and kinda went with it, and yeah, looking back on it now,
It would probably be good to do some research before I start doing stuff like this to save me some frustration. But yeah, we learn from our mistakes, so I guess it's not such a bad thing. I failed. Here you can see the final product. It's not actually that bad, but it wasn't sticking really well and it was kinda just stuffed in the crack and it wasn't really the top quality. So I moved on to the piece besides the dashboard, and this piece really got to me. I couldn't get it to stick or to follow the line of the car, and I just didn't know what to do, and that's why I then gave up on this and started to do the research and ask around how this was actually done. So here you can see I took out the interior plastics just with a plastic tool, and basically how this is supposed to be done is you take out these plastics, clean them up a bit so they're not dirty and oily. You just peel off a piece of vinyl, stick the plastic on, and then just heat the vinyl up and wrap it around the piece. So this is a lot easier to do. I think I made 3 pieces in half an hour as opposed to the piece before that took me half an hour alone. So for any of you that are new to the channel, I hope you like the things I do. I do it with passion, and I think we should all do things like that. I also love music, so I hope you like the music in the background. If you have any ideas or wishes of what I should do in any of the next videos, just leave a comment down below and I'll respond to all of them. So I hope you like these videos. It means a lot to me if you like them or comment on them, what I should do differently. Working on these pieces still wasn't the easiest, because on the back side of the plastic there's a bit of a edge, and I had to use this blue tool you can see on the screen to basically try and squeeze the vinyl wrap into the edge, and it was quite a time-consuming job, but I got it done after a while. I also used a heat gun to shrink the wrap so it holds on to the piece better. This is also what I didn't do in the first part of the video, because I was working in the car and I would have to have a workshop to do that, but I was just in a random parking lot doing some wrapping, and yeah. So using a heat gun is pretty good. If you don't have a heat gun, you could probably use a hair dryer or something like that, just on the max temperature setting. If you don't want to watch me do this, you can always skip to the end and see the results. I will also tell you something in the end that could make my results better, because I got some bubbles under the plastics, so stay tuned to the end. In total, this small, how should I say, cosmetic mod took me about 2 days of working, I don't know, like 3 hours a day, because I've never actually wrapped anything before, and it was quite time consuming because I was learning while I was wrapping, so maybe the next time I will be wrapping something it will go a bit faster, I hope. I also forgot to record how to put out these plastic trim pieces. It's quite simple actually. I will show you the tool I used with another piece, and yeah, it's basically the same for all of them. So here you can see how the trim pieces go into the door of the car. There are just some metal clips and the trim piece just pops in, and it's quite easy to remove and assemble back together. You can definitely see the German engineering also in the trim pieces, so it was quite satisfying putting them back in and seeing some of the results. So first I did the door pieces and the co-driver piece. Now we have the piece around the monitor, on the one on the left side of the gauges and the one around the gear shifter. Here you can see how I took off the plastics using this plastic tool. On the center console piece, there is also a connector in the back that connects to the emergency lights and the airbag light that has to be disconnected in order to take it out. Here you can see I wrapped everything. I didn't record it because it's pretty much the same as every other piece, just a little bit more complex. And I just put it back together. I must say it looks quite cool if you look from afar, but if you look up close you can see some wrinkles on the edge, because I didn't buy a vinyl wrap of top quality. I just bought it in the random Chinese store for like 10 euros, and you can see here some bubbles forming, and it started to come off the plastic pieces before I even drove the car for the first time, so it wasn't the best purchase of my life. So I think I'm gonna have to purchase some better quality vinyl wrap and try this again. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.